What's up everybody, I'm back for another video. Today we'll be building a low budget PC using a 4-core processor and the GTX 750 Ti. With this setup, I expect to do some 1080p gaming at medium to high settings. Alright, so let's get started. First up, I'll be showing you all the components I'm using. For the processor, I'll be using an Athlon X4 860K. This is an on-lock 4-core processor that delivers an excellent performance for a low price. Since I plan to overclock the processor, I'll be using this Cooler Master Hyper TX3. For the RAM, I chose two 4GB G.Skill RAM sticks running at 1866 MHz. The motherboard is going to be a Gigabyte F2A68HM-H. For the most important component of this build, I went with the EVGA GTX 750 Ti. This is a great entry-level graphics card that delivers an excellent performance at 1080p. My storage is going to be a 1TB hard drive from Seagate. And lastly, I'll be powering everything up with the EVGA 430W power supply. Okay guys, so now I'll be showing you some of the features of this Gigabyte motherboard. Even though it's pretty basic, it has all the necessary ports to mount a decent gaming PC. Like SATA 3, PCI Express 3, and two rear USB 3 ports. The only thing really missing from this motherboard is a front USB 3 header. Alright, time to begin the building process. And as usual, I'm going to start by installing the CPU. First step is to open up this latch here. Then I'm going to take my CPU, align it with the socket, and just drop it into place. Then finally secure it into place by closing this latch. Next up, I'll be installing my RAM sticks. To begin, you gotta open up the latches on the slots. Then I'm going to pick up my RAM sticks, align it with the slot, then press down evenly until you hear a snap. After that, I just repeat the same process with the second RAM stick. And there you have it. My two RAM sticks are installed and this step is completed. Now moving on, I'll be installing my Hyper TX3 from Cooler Master. Before I start, I gotta make sure my thermal paste is set. Just going to place a small pea-sized amount right in the center. That's my preferred method of applying thermal paste. Then I'm going to take my TX3, place it right on top of the processor. Once it's where it needs to be, I'm going to secure it into place by closing up this latch. And there you have it. The power supply is the next component I'll be installing. It's going to be mounted on the top of the case. This is pretty simple. All I need to do is grab my power supply and set it up there. As you can see, my power supply is already secure. Now I'm going to install my I/O shield. This is pretty easy. All I have to do is push it in place. Now that my I/O shield is set, I'm going to place my motherboard inside the case. Up next, I'll be connecting the front panel cables. This first cable is the front audio cable. Now, the USB cable. And now, the case fan cable. Here, I'm going to be connecting the rest of the front panel cables. Now I'll be installing the GTX 750 Ti, and for this I'll be using the PCI Express slot. I'm going to take my graphics card, set it in the case, and align it with the slot. Then press down carefully. My graphics card is now installed, so I'm moving on to my hard drive. In this specific case, the hard drive is mounted vertically. I have to take my hard drive, set it inside the case, and align it with the screw openings. Now I just have to secure it with screws. Now I'm at the final step of this build. Gotta plug in all my power cables, and I'm gonna begin with this 24-pin power cable going into my motherboard. I'm gonna follow it with this 4-pin CPU power cable. And finally, I'm going to plug in my SATA power cable. Here's my finished PC, and I'm really impressed how it turned out, especially since it's a budget build. The only thing left now is to hit that power button, so I hope you're ready for it. Here's the PC with Windows already installed, and it seems to be running pretty stable. Now, I'm just wondering how this is actually going to perform. So to test this, I'm going to be playing some of the most recent and demanding games to see if this thing can really deliver a true 1080p gaming experience. So now I'm just going to let you guys enjoy the gameplay, and I'm signing off right now. If you liked the video, hit that like button. Got a question, leave a comment. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you can check out all the future builds I'll be having. Peace out.
How'd you get uncyberized?
The one benefit of Quan Chi's process.
Round 1. Fight.
What happens to everyone?
Sub-Zero wins.
That's it, Roach.
Freak.
Giddy up.